Hello, welcome to History B354, The Reformation. I am Eric Sock, your instructor for this course, and I just wanted to say hello and greet you and give you some tips, in my view, in terms of how to get started with this course. As I'm assuming all of you know, this is a 100% online asynchronous course, which has advantages and disadvantages. I would much rather be teaching this course in person, but I try to make the most of it. I've taught it online numerous times now. And I hope it will be a good course. I hope you'll enjoy it and get out of it what you would like. This is just a greeting, welcoming lecture to say hello, to introduce myself, and to help get you started. The course is not complete yet. If you go to the Canvas site, which is not published yet, but I'll be publishing it probably later today, you will see that it's not complete yet. It will be at least more complete by the time classes officially start on January 13th. But I always like to publish my online courses early, so to speak, because if you would like to get started early, I would like to give you that opportunity. So what you will find there now, as soon as I publish this course, excuse me, more about all this shortly, you will find the syllabus, which is really important, and is probably the first thing you should look at. And the syllabus, you should also know, is a Word document posted in the module course documents. There are several modules. Of course, that is how this course works, including week-by-week modules. But after the welcoming and getting started module, there's the course documents module, and the syllabus is there. And then the readings module has all the readings, except for the textbook, which you'll need to acquire one way or the other. And I'll say something about that shortly as well. And then the introduction to the course document is really important because it goes through the structure of the course, what's expected, what's required, how to approach the course, and some basic concepts for it. So those are the things that you should do to get started, is, aside from watching this video, is to read the syllabus and go through that very carefully, see when things are due and things like that, and what the assignments are, and then read the introduction to the course document. Now, I will be posting lectures, and many of those, or some of those anyway, will be new lectures that I record and post. I may also use previously recorded and posted lectures from last spring when I taught this course online. There's several reasons for doing that. One is, if I feel good about the lecture that I posted last spring, why try to do it again? Just use the same lecture in terms of that. You might be saying, well, don't you update your course? Well, yeah, I do review and update every time I teach it. But within 1 year, I'm not updating it much, to be quite honest. And we can talk more about that if you would like. I'm here to, this is my course. I'm here to teach it, but also to help you through it. But also another reason why I may be doing some of that, using previously recorded lectures, is because I'm going to be having surgery in March. I have it's a long story, but I have a problem with my hip. I had my hip replaced in December 2008, so 16 years ago, but that is disintegrating right now. And that means I'm going to be out of commission, sort of, for a couple weeks anyway. And it also means that until then, surgery is scheduled for March 18th, I'm actually in a lot of pain. So I'm not saying that to get your sympathy or anything else, but just for transparency, to let you know what's going on behind the scenes. I hope and assume that even shortly after my surgery, I'll be available again online. Obviously not the day of, or maybe not a couple days thereafter. But I hope I'll be back being able to participate in the course fully shortly after that. probably much sooner than I will be for the course I'm teaching in person this semester. And so, in that sense, it's a real positive that this course is being done online. So, I will do my best. But if I'm not my usual self, I know a couple of people on the roster anyway have had me before. If I'm not my usual self, I know for most of you that you probably don't know what that really means, what that's like. It's because of the pain I'm in, and we'll just go from there. So I just wanted to let you know. So I will do my best in terms of getting things posted and up and running in due course. I can't promise that the entire course will be available and ready by January 13th, but certainly the first few weeks will be, or at least that's my plan. And all the documents that you need are there. So that's just kind of the prefatory remarks. Also in course documents, I posted a document, self-introduction, which is my introducing myself to all of you. And there's also a discussion posted for you to introduce yourselves to your classmates. I mean, this is an online course, 100% asynchronous. But even though in some ways this is all a two-way street between me and each one of you, it's also a group. And we do have discussions every week as well. And when you look on the syllabus, you'll see those constitute 10% of your grade. I'll say more about that in a second, or a minute, or something like that. So there's some feeling of community here, because that is, I think, important. We can easily get lost and isolated in online courses, but we are still a group and a class. So that, I hope, will offer an opportunity to not only, I hope, stimulate your own thinking and cause you to reflect on things, the discussions that is, but also to interact with your classmates. Obviously, perhaps I should say, if it's obvious, maybe I don't need to say it, but I feel I should say it, that we should be polite in discussions. The discussions, even though they are 10% of your grade, 10 points, they're graded more for completion and overall participation. I don't quantify things. I'll probably be saying more about this as we go along. You will not receive points per discussion or anything like that. I don't quantify to say, okay, if you have made a post on 90% of the discussions, you get the full 10 points or whatever. It's an impression in terms of your participation and engagement in the course. And to be quite honest, and that's one thing I think you'll get to know about me, I'm willing to say things I think a lot of my colleagues aren't willing to say, even if they do things somewhat similarly, even though they also probably do things very differently. If you write excellent exams, what's called the text analyses, which I'll get to, and an excellent final, and if you don't do a single discussion, that really will not affect your grade that much. The discussions are there to help you deal with the material. You can post what you think, you can comment, you can ask questions. So it's not an issue of, here is an assignment that you have to do and just post something, and I'm going to be expecting, a post will be 30 words at least, and go from there. I'll quantify and then assign a point value to it. That's not how I go about it in any way, shape, or form. I do think the discussion helps. So I'd encourage you to participate, to interact, to talk with your fellow classmates, to bounce ideas off of them back and forth. I will participate from time to time. I may not reply to every discussion post by any means, but if I see that the discussion is seemingly going in a direction that I feel is a misdirection, I'll probably weigh in and go from there. I'm not going to be correcting everybody's individual discussion posts, but in the general sense of things, I will try to keep it on track to not allow an erroneous discussion to continue that could negatively affect how you approach things and understand the material. So that's that. But the first discussion is just to introduce yourselves. And there's the instructions there are just to say, what grade level you're at, and I know it's almost a bit banal to say grade level when we're in college, but freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Why did you take this course? What's your reasons behind it? What do you hope to get out of it? What are you expecting from it? And those types of things. And anything else you want to share. Now, as I said, to be polite, that doesn't mean we can't be challenging. Doesn't mean we can't say, no, sorry, but that's not quite what, the way things work or something like that. If it's based on the course material. And I'll be seeing a lot about that later. The course material consists of the lectures, the textbook, and the readings. And I'll be saying a lot about this, and I do it also in the introduction to the course document. I'm not going to be grading your opinions. I want you to have opinions. I'm assuming you all have opinions. I have opinions. I'm not going to grade your opinions. Your opinions are your own, and you're entitled to them. I can grade and will be grading how well you demonstrate your understanding of the course material and apply it to the given problems, meaning the assignments for the text analyses and the final exam. The final exam is comprehensive, and it should be seen as a semester-long project. It's available, it's open, and it's a question I want you to think about from the very beginning. But it's also not one that you can really answer until we get to the end. But it's, I hope, an ongoing discussion. And I'll be referring to the theme of revolution and whether the Reformation was a revolution during the lectures as well. So that will help as well. So that being said, let's see what else. There is, which I'm very excited about, a part of this course is called the supplemental instruction. And your supplemental instruction instructor is Lucy Fogel. Lucy was in this course last spring, did an outstanding job, and she approached me about doing a supplemental instruction section for when I taught this course this past summer, and did a fantastic job. So I was thrilled when she was wanting to and able to do it again this spring for this spring semester. I talk about that in the introduction to the course. Lucy has been through it. She knows my lecture style. She knows my expectations. She knows something more about my personality, and she can help you understand and interpret me, so to speak, if you're having issues with that. And you can ask her things that you might not feel free to ask me. I mean, you're always welcome to ask me anything you want, but you could, I can understand saying, isn't that just crazy what he's saying? You might not want to ask me that directly, and at least in that direct of a fashion, but you can ask Lucy that, and that's fine. I mean, she is there for you, and that she also, the participation in the supplemental instruction is also worth 10 points of your grade, because she'll be giving you tasks to do. And all designed to help you. It's not, the point of this course is not to give you busy work just to make you do busy work and give you grades and point opportunities. The whole purpose and structure of this course is leading to the final, to see what you come out of this course with. What is your understanding of the course at the end, not as we go along. So everything builds towards that final. And I'll be saying more about that as we go along as well. The text analyses, there are 4 text analyses in terms of the major graded assignments, besides the supplemental instruction for 10 points, and the discussions for 10 points. 4 text analyses. The texts are given, the documents giving the assignment for the text analyses are there. And there the focus is analyzing the text, answering the questions given to you, and using the course material, the lectures in the textbook, and the other readings to do so. It really gives you the opportunity to, let's say, play historian. And I don't mean that pejoratively or belittlingly in terms of playing historian, but that's what historians do. We analyze documents, we analyze artifacts, we analyze texts to say something about the past. It's the only means we have to say anything about the past, because the past, when it comes down to it, doesn't exist. We can't go back and look at the past. We cannot observe the past. All we can do is look at artifacts, evidence that exists in the present that signifies that which no longer exists. I'll be talking more about that as we go through some of the lectures and the issues. But it's an important concept to start to grasp. that as historians, we're not dealing with the past. History is not a thing of the past. History is a thing of the present, and in some ways, a thing of the future. It's not a thing of the past, because the past is gone, over and done with. And that's a philosophical position of mine. I can say a lot more about that if anyone is really interested. But it's an issue of what historians do and what is the basis of our knowledge and our understanding of that which no longer exists, namely the past. How can we say something about it? On what basis do we do so? Or is it all just made up? Or is it all just, what we think or want to think or what we've been taught? And so, well, have we been taught incorrectly? Well, probably. That's a long story behind that. It's just in the structure of the discipline and the educational system. But if you have any questions about anything at any time, please feel free to ask me. And again, I will respond with email as quickly as I possibly can. I think I'm pretty good with that. And I'm open to it at any time. I'm open to having scheduling Zoom sessions with you individually to go over issues and material, including your work that you submit, and go on from there. So I'm here as a resource for you, not only constructing the course, and this is my course, and I say that very personally because this is also my area of expertise, or part of my area of expertise, and so I do take this very personally in terms of this being my course. But I'm also here to help you through it. So if there are things you don't understand, if there's things that you disagree with, if there's things that you find upsetting or confusing, seek out my help or talk to Lucy. And if Lucy can't help you, ask me. We're here to help you. That's the whole point of this. I get very excited about this course. I hope that will come through because I think it's so important. It's so important to the understanding of how we have come to be where we are today. Because history, again, is not just learning about what happened way back then. It's coming to an understanding of why are we here? How did we get to the situation we're in? What does it all mean? That's what it's all about. And the Reformation was a major development in that process, even though it's over 500 years ago. Well, 500 years ago, depending on how we date it, when it begins, and everything else. So that is kind of the overall view of the course. I think, again, you can get started whenever you would like with the syllabus and reading the introduction to the course. The textbook you need to acquire and purchase. It may be available at the university bookstore. There's kind of a long story behind that. I ordered it for the bookstore. I received a message saying, well, that version or that edition was no longer available. Would this edition be sufficient? I said, absolutely yes, it would be. So I'm assuming it is available through the bookstore. It is also available on Amazon and other online outlets, Barnes & Noble. It's not an obscure book to find. And anywhere you want to get it, you can get it. The assigned edition, I believe, is the second edition. I think the bookstore may be having the third edition. I'm not sure. Even the first edition probably would work. Page numbering might be a little bit different. So that could be an issue. And so you're required to have the edition that is assigned on the syllabus. But my point here is, another edition probably is fine. And my point is not to have you, spend more money than you absolutely need to. And I wouldn't be assigning it if I didn't think it was essential for the course. All the other readings are either PDF files posted or Word files posted, or then links posted. So you don't have to worry about purchasing those. You're free to, especially since two of the books are my books. So you can certainly buy those if you want, but on the as a footnote, I say don't, because they're very expensive. So they're there for you free. At least the final proofs are there free, so you can read it for free. and you'll see and understand why those are there too when we get there. One is for this first text analysis. It's an addition of a text, translation and addition of a text. And the second is my book on Luther, which I think is important, dealing with the later Middle Ages and Luther's relationship to the later Middle Ages, which I think, I'm not even sure if I assigned the textbook for that, Lindbergh's chapters on that, because I know what I'm talking about. That's if that makes sense, more than he does. So anyway, you don't have to worry about that. The only thing you need to worry about is getting the textbook, and the sooner you do, the better. And then again, reading the syllabus and going through the introduction to the course document. The key to success in this course, but I would say also in university as such, if not in life as such, if I can be so bold to offer some life advice, is the little phrase, know what you need to know. Because there's a lot that might be good to know, nice to know, useful to know, but we don't really need to know a lot. But if we need to know something that we don't know, that's when we have problems. I mean, if you're driving around town, you need to know what the speed limits are. And you need to know the general laws of the road, the rules of the road. Because you're liable to get caught if you don't know those rules or don't follow those rules. Now, if you don't follow those rules, if you do that consciously, that's fine. Maybe you'll get away with it. But you don't want to get caught without knowing it. How many of us speed along 465? A lot, because the speed limit there is like 50 or 55 miles per hour. And if you drive 50 or 55 miles per hour on 465, you're going to be a traffic hazard. But if you get pulled over, you don't need to know what the speed limits are. So it's that kind of a thing. That's a banal kind of an example. But you need to know what is expected of you, what's assigned for you, what you need to turn it in when things are due. And need to know that the lectures are important. Everything that is assigned is important. And that you also need to know that I'm here to help, at least in my own mind, as I conceive of things. So know what you need to know. And if you're unsure, ask Lucy or myself, and we'll go from there. And I hope this will be a great semester. I hope you'll get a lot out of it. I hope this course will challenge your opinions. I'm not trying to undermine anybody's views or beliefs or opinions, but I want to challenge everybody's, if that makes sense. I have often started out this course, or even most of my other courses, by saying, I hope I offend everybody in here. And by that, I don't mean being rude, but I mean by challenging, questioning, making us feel uncomfortable. Because learning and education is uncomfortable. It's not just about information, it's about understanding. And when we start questioning our previous understandings, that begins to make us feel uncomfortable about who we are and our understanding of the world we live in. But it's that uncomfortableness, sorry about that, that leads to growth. Same way with, little babies and children. It's hard. It's hard to learn how to walk. It's hard to grow up. It's painful and it hurts and it takes struggle. But if we don't go through that pain and struggle, it'd still be just like wallowing around on the ground and expecting people to feed us and take care of us, which could be kind of nice in some ways, but it's not being an adult, and it's not learning, and it's not growing as an individual. And that's what education is all about. And that's what this course is about. So be open to being challenged, to being uncomfortable, to questioning, to challenging ourselves, challenging me, so we can all grow, so we can all learn. Because that's what education is all about, and it doesn't stop with any given class. It doesn't stop with your degree. Education is an ongoing process. That is the perspective I try to bring to this course, and I hope that you will at least be able to understand and adopt for purposes of this course, and we'll go from there. And I think that should just about cover it for now. I will be, again, publishing this course shortly, later today, and then I'll start posting the lectures for the weeks, and we'll go from there. So it should be there should be sufficient things posted for you to get started, and I will certainly do everything I can to be significantly ahead of where I would assume most of you would be in terms of your progress through the course throughout the semester. Even if not, the whole thing will be there by January 13th. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I will answer, again, in as timely fashion as I can. Again, welcome. I'm glad you're all here. I'm looking forward to this semester. And yes, I'm looking forward to my surgery too. I am, because that will take care of the pain problem once I recover, I think. So we'll see. Go from there. So I hope this will all be a good semester for all of us. So given that, I will see you again with week 1, lecture 1. And I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you will be too. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.